across your book, Losing It, you describe your novel as mid-lit. Can you explain for people who don't know what mid-lit is?
Well, I wrote the book first, I have to say, Losing It, and then I invented the genre, but it sort of lent itself. So I thought, you know, it's a book essentially that I want people to laugh on the tube when they're reading. That was my goal. That was a very particular goal. I wanted people to get the narrative voice and laugh occasionally. That's it. I needed to be plausible. And then I thought, it's kind of chick lit, but obviously I'm middle-aged now. I thought mid-lit. And then, and I'm really into this label. And I heard that another publisher, not Pam Macmillan who did, so I think HarperCollins, had a conference and they were talking about mid-lit. I thought, I want to say, excuse me, I think you'll find I made that up. But ideas, as we know, as creative people, we can't have a monopoly on ideas. So I believe I made up the word mid-lit. Let's just leave it at that. My term, my genre.
Can you tell me about Millie, the protagonist in your book?
Well, Millie is a kind of extension of me because she's in debt, divorced, desperate. She is given the chance to try out this herbal diet pill for money. It's just actually did happen to me. So all these things are plausible, real occasions. Mad, but happen. And it's a journey, is she or is she going to do it? But actually it's more about the experiences, the world she's in, the pressure. And losing weight is funny because it's all about success and failure and totally unreal goals. And, you know, say if you do lose weight, then chances, I mean, I've lost weight from time to time. I love my food. There are biscuits here. So I noticed you've not eaten one. I've had 3 probably. Well, before you came, I did. So she has a thing about food, a thing about drink. She can't, excess. And all the things you shouldn't do, she wants to do. Craving, yearning. And that's quite interesting and funny in a world where everybody's trying to be happy and do it right. Because I don't believe in that. I believe in indulging, getting it wrong. That's funny. Failure's funny. And she gets offered a chance to get out of jail, earn 20 grand if she can be on a pilot scheme to lose weight in 3 months for 20 grand. So if she can lose weight for this herbal diet pill, she keeps her house. Is she or is she not going to do it? But it's the journey and the circumstance and what happens to her that I hope is of interest.
Is there a message in Losing It you'd like readers to take away with them?
I don't know about messages because I always get anxious. I have above average anxiety anyway. A therapist told me that, and I'm supposed to be quite proud of that. Because I know that when I hear other people saying how one should do things, my anti-authoritarian screw-up is I don't want to be told, because subliminally, subconsciously, I have a problem with authority because I went to a very strict school. Anyway, parking that, do I have a message? I think it's to simplify and to laugh and to settle, just to enjoy making fun of what is, so that it isn't this hateful mountain that we've failed at climbing. It's just to dispel these ridiculous goals and have a laugh along the way. That's my aim. But the message isn't whether she's going to be successful or a failure at the task in hand. It's about her and her relationships with other people and the mother-daughter thing as well, which is also quite dysfunctional. Lack of perfection, I think, is quite interesting.
You've had wonderful comments on the book from Stephen Fry.
Well, I paid a lot of money to Stephen Fry's charity, obviously. He wouldn't take anything himself personally, respect. I was thrilled because the thing is, I'm an 80s person. I'm 60 and the character's just marginally younger. I'm always older than my contemporaries, like, well, I say contemporaries, a comic strip, people like that. They're always, and they still are, damn them, about 4 or 5 years younger than me. I started late.
Yes.
So that I'm always very conscious of being that much older than everyone. And I stayed down a year at school because I missed a lot, quite thick, obviously. I had asthma. So I've always I've always been a little bit older. So those people were around me when I began as a stand-up in, I think, 82 or the early 80s. So it's really nice. I did a thing called Happy Families that Ben Elton wrote, and I played this slightly strange maid to Dawn French's cook, and we had such a laugh. And everyone on Happy Families, everyone had their own series, quite rightly, deservedly so, except me. And those were so I've always kind of trundled along in my own way, the supply teacher of comedy, as I was called once. I Googled it. So I think it's absolutely wonderful that they offered this up for the book. It was just a really nice, I was really chuffed, really chuffed.
I think it was Ben Elton who said you'd taken quite a while writing your novel, but it's been worth the wait. Is there something that happened in your life that actually caused you to write it when you did?
I lack confidence, and people sort of often ask, why are you a comedian? Like people need to sort of nail it. I think the important thing is not to nail it, but I am aware that the combination of who I am has fed my comedy. And I think I found stand-up comedy very derailing after 5 years. Quite nice to suddenly be asked to do a proper job where people, aren't as antagonistic, because it was a different climate. Because I've been talking about it recently, and I'm surprised to discover how unhappy I must have been. But equally, I don't think we can expect happiness. I think it's a misnomer to go around your life think you have a right to love what you do, and you have to work hard and just do it. So I got on and did it. Some of the gigs were good, but I was on my own. I think I probably self-sabotaged a bit through my own nerves and the difficulty I had in presenting myself. And also it's luck. What else is going on? Now we have national treasures and celebrities, which is great. A lot more women in comedy, which is fantastic. But in those days, it just was a different time. So I think partly it was my own personality that delayed me. But I don't care, because I am loving this now. This is my last phase. And I can't tell you how much I loved writing this book. It was just, I want to do this again.
I can imagine that your career in comedy has impacted your writing. Would you say so too? Has it influenced the way you've developed characters and your writing style?
You write your own material and perform it. I mean, that's essentially what stand-up comedy is. So I guess I had to learn, if I learnt anything, I learnt what didn't work. Like your currency is to get a laugh. So I learnt the kind of rhythm. When it went well, I got it right, and when it didn't, I got it wrong. So it's a kind of voice that is easy to listen to, easy on the ear. So this is uncomplicated, easy to read writing, and I think there's a real place for it. I mean, there's, say, Muriel Spark, or wry writers, ironic writers, David Nichols, he's a laugh out loud writer. There are people who are far more intellectual. I'm not an intellectual, but I want to write so people can hear it. And I think that stems from early stand-up. I say discipline, that's such a pretentious word. They probably teach it now. But in my day, you just got on and did it, and you just worked it out.
You're setting up a new award called Comedy Women in Print. Can you tell me about that?
Comedy Women in Print. There would have been another set of letters, but the Welsh Islamist Society had already got that website. So it was Women in something or other. Quip is fine. We're very excited. It's about, I suppose, doing something that I never had. So it's quite a personal journey to give confidence and encouragement to wit in print. So that's really fiction. There are no funny female fiction prizes in existence. I looked around for one the only reason I set it up because there isn't a prize for me. But where's the prize? There was a prize, but Melissa Nathan Award for comedy, women's comedy, but that is no more. So I thought, there's a need. I shall set one up. And also sort of more as a charity as well. So it's that thing of just doing it. I'm just going to do it, break all the rules and do it. And that's how I started as a stand-up. So I feel this age is very much going back 30 years to beginning. Just do something, just do it, and let's see what happens.
What's your writing plans now? Is there another book in the pipeline?
Yes, I've got the idea, it's all ready, but I have to promote this one, and I had no idea the stress of making and forcing people to like me, like my book, and buy it and get shops to stock it. This is another book, and well, I think people do write books about it, don't they?
Yes.
When I go to these festivals, which I haven't done yet, and I'm going to do an audience with show, which I haven't written yet, and that's in a month's time. All the things I've learned along the way about PRs and how it works and how it doesn't work, is quite funny because it's quite stressful, which is funny. So I think I could help a lot of other people with what I've learnt. And I think the important thing, which I never had, is to share the information. Really, really share it. Even if you don't want to, force yourself to share and help others, because they didn't in my day, I don't think.
Is there anything else you'd like prospective readers of Losing It to know?
I want people to buy Losing It, to review it on Amazon, please. To put, I think, what's the maximum amount of stars? Just draw some more. I want stars. I just want this to work, because I haven't done anything unique to me in 30 years, and I want this to be the beginning of a new career before I pop my clogs. So I want that support, I want that love, and I want them basically just go, I understand this voice and I've had a few laughs, and there's an authenticity in it this time. I really hope they get the authenticity in it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ruth.